junior. He said, I want to graduate from high school and I want to finish my 4-H career. And the doctor said, I think we can do that for you. He goes, I want to get you there, even though he knew that the prognosis was not good at all. He put Dawson on aggressive treatment of chemo. We also then had another surgery where the doctor actually went in with her fingers and removed the spots on his lung. And it was an amazing, amazing surgery that she did. It was very, very successful, and that did work. We did have some more chemo treatments, and the goal was to put the cancer, of course, in remission. Unfortunately, the surgery was successful, but more spots just kept popping up on the lungs. We tried several different clinical trials. Clinical trials are things that's not approved by the FDA. And we were, pulling from Cincinnati, they're pulling from St. Jude, they're pulling from everywhere, because the goal is, of course, is to get these cancer kids in remission. And they did everything they could possible. But the doctors kept working on him through his senior year. Dawson was able to go to prom. He was able to graduate with his class, and he was able to complete his 10 years of 4-H. In August of 2018, we went up to Indy for a doctor's visit at Peyton Manning, and we were pretty much at the end of the rope then. There was no more treatments to try. There was no more clinical trials out there. And the doctor said, you're probably going to have about 6 months to live. In September, his last visit to the doctor, he was put into hospice. This was a Friday night. They came to our home, they set up the bed in the living room. He was still happy and in good spirits, but the cancer had gone to his brain, unfortunately. He didn't suffer, he wasn't really in any pain, and so we are grateful for that. Monday night, our pastor and our youth pastor came to the house and wanted to baptize him. He had been saved, but had never been baptized, and so the pastors came out, and my in-laws were there, and they videotaped it, and he was baptized Monday night, just being sprinkled, with water over his head. You can be baptized several different ways, of course. The next day, Tuesday, he had a good day. Shawn had stayed home with him, and I went to work at school. That evening, he had a nice chicken noodle dinner that had been prepared by Grandma and Great-Grandma, of course. We love the noodles. Shawn had a volleyball game. He coaches volleyball, varsity volleyball at White River Valley, and he had a game that night at Bloomfield. So he went to coach the game, and it was, it was difficult. We were juggling work and school and games through this 4 years of this journey. Shawn comes back from the game, and he slept on the couch right beside Dawson there in the bed in the living room, and I went on back to the bed. They were sleeping well, and they both kind of dozed off. Shawn said he woke up approximately a little after 11 because the night show was on, late night show, so we kind of knew what time it was. And unfortunately, Dawson had stopped breathing. He went to bed that night. He was still happy. He was still smiling. And before actually we went to bed, he brought us both in, and Dawson actually prayed for us. I think he knew his time was close by. But he stopped breathing, and that was the night of actually September the 11th. But by the time the nurse and Jim Ming from Anderson Poindexter came, obviously it's going to be after midnight, so the death date is going to be September the 12th.